there's a lot of commotion going around about Hu Tao for this one fact. Now, everyone's probably like, why is her attack so low? Why? Everybody's reconsidering because like everybody was like, oh my god, this unit looks amazing. She might be actually like absolutely broken. She might be really, really good. And then y'all saw that stat and y'all said, ooh, y'all dropped like some rocks in some water. I'm talking, y'all really, that was funny. But anyway, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Whiskey Chan Bang video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing her and why she is so good still, even though that low attack stat is really not that viable. I'm going to exactly tell you why it's that low and why she is still going to be extremely good and why she's still going to be a DPS in the first place, guys. So we're going to go over that all in today's video. Timestamps will be in the description below, so make sure to check that out. And also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,900. And also hit that bell to get my notifications every time I post a video, which is daily. And also, smash that like button. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. As we all do know, Hu Tao is probably going to be our first glass cannon in Genshin Impact if we do not get Zhao before her. So we're gonna, the reason I say glass cannon is, if you don't know that that phrase, basically she's gonna be really, really sensitive, but at the same time she's gonna smack like a truck, okay? So, or like a cannon in that fact, right? So Hu Tao kit involves low HP equals high attack, meaning having the lowest base attack in the game. She's heavily dependent on her low HP for damage. Now that's why I say she's a glass cannon, because really you're gonna be in low HP if you want to do a ton of damage, right? And also these are some essential materials and whatnot. We're gonna go over her skills and abilities really soon, but I just want to talk about this glass cannon real quick, and as to why it's just like she is still gonna be viable. It's just, it depends on how you play the game. If you don't like playing on like low HP, like on the risk, like on the rail about to fall off, if you don't like playing like that, then this character probably is not for you. But if you do, it will be very beneficial for the fact that her stats are absolutely insane, and that her stats make up for her low HP, not her low HP, her stats make up for her low attack. You're probably saying like, why would they even put somebody in the game with that low attack? Like what are they even doing, right? So let's go ahead and move over to the character and discuss some things as to why they would even do that in the first place. Realize that all of this is in beta, not in the beta test, but just meaning that it's a work in progress, a WIP, and it's also not finalized. She's a 5-star pole arm user. As you all know, she was leaked a couple of days ago, and these are her essential materials I just showed you. And also, as you can see, her base attack is literally 106. Now that is the biggest problem with everybody that is looking at Hu Tao right now. Everybody was really hyped when she was leaked, but when they found out her base attack, y'all were like, y'all literally just fell off, man. But there are things that make up for that, and you're probably saying, what makes up for that low attack? What can possibly make up for that low attack, Whisker Chan? Well guys, I said it in the last video, I'll say it in this video, it's HP. As you can see, her HP is pretty high. I'll actually show you some comparisons. I'll just compare her to our most previous people that we got, our units that we got. Basically, guys, this is only, and his HP actually goes to 14,000. And if you didn't know, this unit is actually based off of a lot of HP. Like, he's an HP unit just similar to Hu Tao. But as you can see, Hu Tao's HP literally beats him by a lot, like by over 700. So I feel like her having, I think she has the most HP in the game, base HP in the game. I think she does. I think so. But basically, she's toppings only, right? And then if we consider Albedo as well, Albedo only has 13,000 HP. Now you're probably saying, what does this HP even matter? Well, like I was telling you, literally this unit's skills, abilities, attacks, all that is really based off of her HP. We would describe it in the skills and her elemental burst and whatnot really soon. But before we do, I also have another thing to note. What else makes up for her low attack? Not only her HP for, you know, supporting the character in general, since she's based off of max HP basically, but she has crit damage and she has tons of defense if you didn't notice. But I want to talk about this crit damage. Crit damage in this game is enormous. I'm going to tell you that crit damage builds, like having basically 40% base crit damage once you get level 90 or level 80 plus, having that 40% well, or 38.4%, almost 40% crit damage buff, plus your crit damage build that you put on your build for her, and then plus if you have a weapon with crit damage, if you want to run it like that, or and then you have, or if you have crit rate, you can opt for crit rate and try to get as many crit damage substats as you can on your artifacts. It's just, guys, I'm just gonna let you know just like this. It's absolutely insane the crits that you can do with this character because of your ability to build a crit rate set, because she's having a lot of crit damage already. You just need crit damage substats, and you can just build her so well. Unless you just want to go all in for tons of crit damage and then like have like 20% crit rate, which is not that optimal. You want at least like 50% crit rate. But it's up to you how you play your character. But like I said, her crit damage makes up a lot for her base attack, and so does her HP, for the fact that crit damage hits really hard, guys. And also, if you have a high crit rate, it's going to hit consistently hard. And then her HP is just consistent. The more HP you have, the better your unit's going to be. So if they made her base attack any higher, she would be broken and they would have to rework her because she'd do too much damage. I feel like if she had like a stat like, let me see, like Albedo's, right? Albedo has 251. That's not that high considering that Zhao has like 349. And then our boy Zhongli has 251, right? So considering how high those are, Zhao has 349, and those are really high. But if she were to have something like that, plus her HP buffs that she gets, plus the crit damage that's already basically 40% once you level her up to level 80 plus or 90, you would be playing a very broken character. They would have to definitely do a lot of hot fixes to that character because they would not allow you to just smack everything in sight, literally. So anyway, let's go over some of her abilities and whatnot. They don't have descriptions, so you have to just we have to use our brains for this, okay, guys? So we have an activation cost, which leads me to believe this is something of a transformation or something where you switch a type of form, or where you switch to a lot of pyro damage dealing. It varies, right? So the activation cost of this throughout all levels is 30% HP, so it's taking a big old chunk of your HP. But once it takes your HP, it's not like it's continuously taking your HP like Zhao's elemental burst. This is like this. Once you do this activation cost, 30% HP gone. That's a chunk of your health. Now you have an attack increase at level 1 is 3.87, at level 10 is 5.25, and at level 15 is 6.24 of your max HP. So what this means is the more HP you have, the more that 6% is going to do, the more that 5% is going to do, and the more that 3% is going to do. You need a lot of HP on this character, and considering that once she releases, most likely, since in the there was a picture of her new weapon that is most likely going to release right next to her banner. As they always do, they put the best weapon that they see fit next to the character so that you can summon for the character, and if you want, you could go for their weapon as well. And this weapon gives you a 20% increased HP bonus plus some other details. I'll actually show you the weapon real quick. This is the weapon right here, as you can see. I hope my head is not in the way. It's a red looking spear that has horns. It looks like just like I said, it looks like Ichigo's holified form where he has his horns out. But anyway, guys, that is the new spear that's most likely going to be released next to her banner, considering that it has an HP stat to give her more HP, to make her more viable, or to make Zhongli more viable, depending. But it might do something that benefits her more than Zhongli and whatnot, since she is the featured character, right? So for sure, she's going to have tons of HP. You're going to have tons of HP if you build her right. The most ideal build would be to build her with HP, since she's based off so much HP. And also maybe some attack. It depends, really. We don't know everything. This is not finalized. Like I said, this is a work in progress. This is not finalized. So we're just taking everything with a hint of salt. And for build wise, I won't even think about building her until we get a little bit closer to her finalized form, to where I can actually, you know, analyze what she can possibly do, what she can do, and then make the build in order to make her more viable and make it actually work, right? So now we have the Blood Plum Perfume damage. See, the thing about this is, what's killing me is, once you activate this, you're losing 30% HP, right? And then you're getting a buff for attack increase based off of your HP, max HP. You can go from 525 from 10 to 624 at 15. And then you also have Blood Plum Perfume damage. And this goes from 64 to 115 at level 10 to 152 at level 15. And this lasts for 8 seconds, which leads me to believe this is a damage over time. So what I'm thinking is, you're going to be doing damage over time while having an attack increase. which is kind of broken in my opinion, if that actually is true. But since it has a duration, that's what leads me to believe that you're going to be doing damage over time, right? So we'll definitely get to see that, and once the description comes out and whatnot, once they update this, we'll definitely get to see that and read up on that. I can't wait for that, because I want to understand this character to the max ability, to see if she's insane, like, because her stats and whatnot sound absolutely insane, but is she insane? This description is going to tell us more in detail about what she can possibly actually do. Now, the duration is 10 seconds once you do your activation cost, and you go into this form where you have this attack increase based off your max HP. This lasts for 10 seconds and the cooldown's 15 seconds, meaning she can basically do this, like, say for example you're in this form, right? It's gonna last 10 seconds. Your blood plum perfume is gonna last 8 seconds, right? So that's gonna just be at 8 seconds. You have 2 seconds of your form left, then 2 seconds are gone, then you wait 5 seconds and you can transform once again. Now you're probably saying, wow, that's actually pretty fast where you could transform and then get that attack increase constantly, right? That's what also makes up for her low attack, is the fact that she can basically constantly be in this form. It just takes 5 seconds, literally. You could just be in this form every second. But the only problem with this form is the fact that the activation cost is going to take 30% of your HP each time. So I don't know if it's current HP or max HP it's taking from, but if it's taking from max HP, you're going to be in trouble. If it's taking from current HP, we'll be actually pretty decent. But if that's max HP, we're in trouble, right? But what makes up for that is the fact that I presume that the God Soother works like this, right? So the skill's damage is actually pretty decent on a regular note. Goes from 272 to 443 to 549. And then also we have the low HP skill damage, which is when she has low HP, it's going to be the more damage that she does, like Zenith said. So the more low HP she has, the more damage she's going to do. 340.68 level 1, level 10 is 554, and level 15 is 687. You're probably saying, why are those numbers so low? Like I said, guys, she's getting an attack increase once she's in that form, and I'm pretty sure once she's in that form, you can still do her elemental burst, meaning you'd have even additional attack, and also you're not even considering the crit damage you're going to do if you have a crit rate crit damage build. So it's going to be absolutely broken. She's going to be doing massive numbers, even with this 687, or even with the 554 or 443, right? So there's also another thing to note in this skill that has me leading me to think that she can support herself, right? So we have the skill damage, which is regular, to the low HP skill damage, which is when she's low HP. Then we have the skill HP regeneration to the low HP skill regeneration, meaning once she does this this elemental burst, I guess, her HP regeneration is based off of this. If she has regular HP, like if she's not that low HP, this is how much she's gonna heal. That's what I feel like it's gonna happen. Once we get a description, we'll know this better. But this is what I feel is gonna happen. This is my speculation. She's gonna heal this much, from 6.26% max HP to 10.2% max HP at level 10, and at level 15, I feel like she's gonna go 12.64% max HP, or heal that much, right? But once she's low HP, which is what you want to be in at most times, you want to be in low HP as much as possible, so that you could get a lot of attack and whatnot, because as you know, the lower her HP, the more the skill damage is going to go up. So it's beneficial to go into a low HP mode, but at the same time, it's also bad because you could die really fast. But that's where this comes in. Low HP skill regeneration. I feel like this is going to regenerate her once she has this this really low HP. You're gonna regenerate at level 1 8.35% of max HP, at level 10 13.6% of max HP, and at level 15 finally 16.85% of max HP. And those are some big numbers. If this is truly how she works and truly how she heals herself, she can constantly do her elemental skill, right? And then get all her energy particles to get her elemental burst. By the time you get your elemental burst, you'll have such low HP, but at the same time, you'll be healing so much, right? You'll have this low HP skill regeneration. It's not by a lot, but it is enough, and it's crazy. I don't think it actually once it heals you, right? I don't think that it's going to basically like continuously heal you by 6.26 or continuously heal you by 8.35. I think it's gonna heal you just one time of that max HP. So whatever your 12% of your max HP is, or whatever your 13.6% of your max HP is, it's gonna heal you basically off of that. So if you have like 50k, it's gonna heal you off of 13.6% of 50k, and it's gonna give you that health back. So it's not gonna give you probably everything you lost, because you're losing 30% of your HP. We don't know if it's current or if it's max HP. If it's max HP, we'll have a problem, but if it's current HP, then it would not be that bad, because like say for example you have 500 HP and then you do the activation, it'll take 30% of your current HP and you won't die immediately. Because if it's max HP and you have 500 health, you can't activate this. You're just gonna die immediately, because 30% of like 50,000 health is a lot. That's just immediate death, right? So for sure, I hope that is current HP instead of max HP, similar to Zhao, because they had to buff him for the fact that when they made him in the beta, he was losing max HP. Like, so once you like hit 1,000, he will lose whatever of his max HP percentage is. Like, you know, like it was just broken. It was not in a good way. It was like you're losing HP way too fast for that form. So definitely that's good that they made it to where it's current HP instead of max. I feel like that's preferred over everything with doing with HP stats for attacks and whatnot. So that's really cool. And also the cooldown for this is 15 seconds. The energy cost is 60, so it's not really a fat energy cost, but like I said, some of these are scheduled to change. Ganyu even changed really recently actually, so some of these things will change, guys. This is still, like I said, work in progress. This is a beta on Honey. This is not a beta in the game. This is a beta on Honey. It's a work in progress. It's not finalized, so you need to take everything I say with a hint of salt, right, and pepper. So it's like this, guys. I feel like she's a glass cannon because of the fact of the low HP skill damage she can do, and then also her regeneration. She probably can regenerate herself, that's what it seems like. And then the attack increase based off her max HP. The more HP you have, the better damage you're gonna do. And then also we didn't even consider her passive, right? When Hu Tao's HP is equal to or less than 50%, her pyro damage bonus is increased by 25%, meaning she's gonna have an increased pyro damage bonus of 25%. Yo, I mean, building her, honestly, I'm thinking like, right, either a crit rate pyro damage attack build, or crit rate pyro damage HP build. Because of how she's based off HP, maybe you want to prioritize HP more than anything. Maybe you want HP and then crit rate, or you want HP pyro damage crit rate. It's up to you how you build her. I would definitely have to do some testing. I'm gonna have to grind her materials and start right now so I can have it ready. But so this is saying, just like Zenith said right here, she literally revolves around low HP. The more low HP she has, the higher attack she has, and the more she can function and smack with high damage numbers and do, you know, tons of damage, if that is the case, because of the multipliers are telling us otherwise, right? So I feel like for sure this 106 attack should not scare everybody. You should definitely feel very comfortable because of the fact that her base HP makes up for it and her crit damage makes up for it, because it's high. You already have a high HP right here, guys. Like, look at this, man. You have such high HP. So like, you can even make it better, and then you can just get tons of more damage because of how her attack increase works based off of max HP, and how her God Soother works based off low HP and whatnot. It's just like she's so viable. She's gonna be semi-tank, especially if paired with Zhongli, where you can literally use the shield once you have low HP, just in case you don't want to die. You know, Zhongli's shield is broken. But yeah, so especially after this Geo update, this Geo update is gonna make Albedo and Zhongli extremely broken. Like, they're gonna be insane, right? So yeah, that's really about it. I wanted to discuss this in today's video because I feel like most people are scared of Hu Tao for the fact that her base attack is so low. It's not the problem, trust me. That is nowhere near the problem, because like I said, this crit damage and this base HP makes up for it so much. And if they made that any higher, she would be too strong. That's how I see it, because of how this unit works and how she's based off this HP, and how she could almost constantly proc this Rebirth the Chaperone, which is her elemental skill, if this duration is true and if this cooldown is true. So I feel like she could definitely just continuously proc this over and over, and then just, even though she's gonna be losing a lot of HP, she's gonna get elemental particles, energy particles back, do her God Soother, and she's gonna heal herself from her skill HP regeneration. And then you're just gonna have that health back, and then you go just rinse, repeat, and you also have a healer on your team if you just feel very unsafe with having low HP on Hu Tao. And she's just gonna be knocking out massive damage. She's gonna be doing a lot of pyro damage. I'm pretty sure that this form, when she goes in this form, she's gonna do pyro damage. Her all her elements are gonna be changed to pyro damage, and also the blood plum perfume. That is a tongue twister. Is also probably gonna do pyro damage and do this damage over time for the 8-second duration that it has. It depends, right? So that's a lot to say about this unit, but all I want to say is that this unit is not bad, guys. For all the people that think she is bad because of this low base attack, she is not bad. You have to take the whole unit into consideration and not just the attack. You have to look at the HP, you have to look at the crit damage, you have to look at what this unit is based on. She's not based on, oh my god, the higher your attack, the higher additional attack you're going to get. Nah, this is the higher your HP, the more additional attack you're going to get. And in her case, I think she has the highest HP in the game, and that right there tells you something. She's gonna be smacking. They're making up for all that low attack she has, and that crit damage is basically 40%. they're making up for it, trust me. And she's gonna be a monster if you build her like with the right build. If you build her with the right build, she's gonna be an absolute monster. So that's really about it for this video. I just want to let you guys know that this unit is still viable. This unit is still gonna be something that we should play. And like, this is in beta. This is a work in progress. This is not finalized, guys. So you need to realize that some of this stuff might change. Her base attack might go up. Her base attack might go down. Her HP might go up. Her HP might go down. Her crit damage is, I hope it stays the same because I really like that crit damage. So for sure, everything's gonna change. We're getting descriptions. We're gonna get her other passive as well, which looks like something to do with crit rate or crit damage for the spike thing that looks just like Ganyu's. But yeah, so that's really about it for this video, guys. I really hope you did enjoy, and I hope this did change your mind about Hu Tao, because I know everybody has their doubts and everybody's like, I'm still going to summon for Zhao. Now Zhao is still a good unit, but Hu Tao is not to be slept on either, because she will be a good unit as well. Do not do the same mistake most people did when Venti came out where you just slept on them and then you're like, oh man, that unit is actually good. Yeah, don't do that. You have to keep everything about the unit into consideration, not just one thing like base attack. So anyway, guys, this unit is definitely going to take some skill to play, and I feel like she's going to be a very fun unit to play. I can't wait until she comes out. I hope she does come out in 1.3, either February 3rd or February 23rd, whether she's the first banner or second banner. I hope she does come out. But yeah, another thing to consider is thinking about it. I feel like the Sea Lantern Festival will release February the 3rd, and if it does, then Zhao's coming out February the 3rd, I believe, since the Sea Lantern Festival comes out right there. But, because like, I presume they do this because how they did Albedo. Albedo's event came out literally, as soon as he came out. So I feel like as soon as the Sea Lantern Festival comes out, which is something to do with Zhao a little bit, as we've seen in the previews, the trailers and whatnot, I feel like he's definitely going to be the first banner. But if that Sea Lantern Festival is not on February 3rd, he might not be the first banner, he might be second. But even if it is on the first side of 1.3, I feel like he might not even be there still. He might be just February 23rd, period. I feel like if it's February 23rd, though, it gives us more time to save Primogens, especially free-to-play players. So I feel like that's more viable. I feel like him coming out the 23rd is way better in February. So if she does come out, since it was so much hinted on, it was so much. So I feel like she's definitely going to be the banner in 1.3 that's next to Zhao. I feel like that, but it may change, like I said. So take everything with a grain of salt. I hope she is, though, because I'm really hyped for her. And she looks extremely sick, and her stats, it will not seem extremely really good right now, as they are still a work in progress. I feel like definitely she's going to be a unit you need to use a skill, though. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy. I hope this did change your mind, and I hope this did make it to where you feel if you wanted her before, you can still want her because she's not bad. She's not going to be a bad unit. So you can still want her and not throw her in the garbage and then just keep going for Zhao. You can still want this unit because she's still good. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you did enjoy. I hope this gave you some insight on the character in depth and in detail. And yeah, that's really about it. So I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I love y'all. Peace out. Hu Tao Sims on top.